Hello chaps, welcome to John Robson Guitar Tuition. As always, I do hope you're well. Now, those of you with a good memory might recognise this guitar. It's the Harley Benton SC something or other. It's, as you can see, it's a Harley Benton Les Paul gold top copy. It belongs to one of my students who a few months ago very kindly loaned it to me so I could do a review on it. And if you remember the review, you'll no doubt recall the fact that the D-string tuning peg had a big chunk taken out of it, so that needed sorting out. And the other issue with the guitar was that the pickups weren't the best sounding pickups. They were your archetypal, cheap ceramic, high output, quite muddy sounding humbuckers. So that brings me to the second guitar of the day. This one, or what's left of it, a Tokai SG copy, which as you can see is bereft of pickups. I wonder where they've gone. And it's also missing its D-string tuner. Yes, we're starting to join the dots now, aren't we? Basically, someone, a very generous viewer to this channel, got in touch and said he had a Tokai SG going spare and did I want it for the Guitars for Good Causes campaign. So of course I said yes, and when it arrived it felt, you know, okay. The action was quite high, but you know, the pickups and everything, it sounded like a nice guitar. It was a beautiful guitar. As I said, the only problem with it was the quite high action. The high action was caused by a very, very noticeable bow in the neck. So I whipped the truss rod cover off to try and remedy that, only to find that the truss rod was seized, absolutely solid. It would not move no matter what. I tried every remedy that was suggested all over the internet, you know, penetrating fluid, getting some heat on it with a soldering iron, all kinds of things to try and free it up, and it was just not having any of it. And on a guitar like this, a budget guitar, that's pretty much game over. It's going to cost more to put right than it is than the guitar is going to be worth. So, as I say, the guy who owns this guitar was here for his lesson the other day, and he was mentioning about the D-string tuner. He wanted that sorting out, and you know, he wasn't, you know, kind of over the moon with the sound of the pickups. And then just a little light bulb went off in my head. I thought, well, why not take the parts that we need from this guitar and put them onto this guitar, which is exactly what I've done. This guitar's owner has made a donation to Zoe's Place. Here's the receipt, and in return for that, he now owns all the bits and pieces that he wants to cannibalise off this guitar. And the main point of today's video, let me just put this down, is I really want to kind of demonstrate the difference between the ceramic magnet humbuckers that were in this guitar to begin with and the Alnico magnet humbuckers that are now in it. How do I know these are Alnico magnet pickups? Well, for a start off, the sound is quite obvious, but there's a way you can tell by visually inspecting the pickup, usually. What you need to be able to do is, if you can get a glimpse inside the back cover of the pickup and take a look at the magnet. If you are seeing what looks like a piece of metal, then that is an Alnico magnet. Okay, there's no way of telling visually whether it's Alnico 2 or 3 or 5 or whatever, but you can tell just by virtue of the fact that you're seeing something metallic that it is a metallic alloy like Alnico. If, however, you are seeing what just looks like a black rectangle, a black oblong shape, then that is what a ceramic magnet looks like. So a visual inspection of these pickups told me that they were a decent Alnico magnet pickup, so they went into this guitar along with the new D-string tuner. And what we're about to do now is hear the difference between them, starting off with the old pickups. This is what the ceramic magnet humbuckers that were originally in this guitar sound like. Now for comparison, let's hear what the new Alnico magnet pickups sound like. So I think you can hear that there is a very marked difference. The Alnico magnet pickups are noticeably less powerful in terms of output. It's easier to get a clean sound with them, a proper sort of crystalline clean sound. There's more transparency there and more warmth. The two sounds which for me give it away, the difference, are the clean strummy thing that I was doing on the beginning and throughout underneath the lead parts, and on the bridge pickup setting on kind of a medium gain. It's just that little bit sweeter and warmer to my ears with the Alnico magnet pickups. Needless to say, both sets of pickups were recorded using exactly the same settings, levels and amp model and everything like that. There were no differences there, and that is what the difference between Alnico and ceramic magnet pickups sound like. So if you've ever wondered, now you know. And that's pretty much it for this video, and I hope you found it informative, and if you have, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Just a little bit of housekeeping now. I mentioned earlier Guitars for Good Causes. That is a charity campaign that I'm running with, well, basically what you do is you donate money to the GoFundMe page that you can see linked below this video, and then I use those donations to buy equipment, guitars, amps, whatever, which I then review on this channel. Then the gear gets sold, with proceeds going to Zoe's Place Baby Hospice, a charity in Middlesbrough which provides palliative, respite and end-of-life care to children under 5 with terminal illnesses. A fantastic cause that I'm very proud to support, and if you could find it in your heart to chuck a few quid in the bucket, I'd be over the moon with that. And speaking of that Guitars for Good Causes campaign, there is one piece of gear that's still for sale. Okay, the proceeds from this will go to Zoe's Place. It's the Vox VX1 15 watt modelling amp. I did a review of this when we got it, and again the review is linked below this video. What you need to do is send your bids to me by tomorrow, Wednesday the 18th of July, because that's the closing date. I may extend it, but at the moment that is the closing date. Send your bids to me, how much you would like to bid for that amplifier. I will then notify the winning bidder, and what they then do is make a donation to Zoe's Place, send me a screenshot of the receipt, and I send you the amp. That is, you know, as simple as it gets, really. And while we're on the topic of amplifiers, I'll just mention as well that there is a competition running, as you no doubt know, where the prize is a Blackstar Fly 3 practice amp bundle consisting of the amp and the power supply, so you don't have to run it off batteries. It's a fantastic little amp, this. Well worth having, and you can get one for nothing simply by entering the contest. Once again, check the link below this video for details. And finally, one for me, if you want some tailored one-to-one guitar tuition, then give me a shout via the details at the end of this video. If you live on Teesside in the northeast of England, you can come along for a face-to-face lesson, or wherever you are in the world you can have a lesson via Skype, and whichever way you choose to do it, your first lesson is of course free. And with that, I'll bid you all a good day, look forward to seeing you all again next time, and bye for now folks.